I know I've said this, but I really thought I understood what standing in my power meant.
Sure.
I really thought I did.
I thought I did.
And
Uh,
I did not. I did not. I didn't understand the full extent of really how that. Have I had moments of standing in my power? Yes. But the daily thing of
but a conscious understanding of it.
none, zero.
No, no. Today, I am very overwhelmed to say I have an inkling of an understanding of it. Do I fully understand it? I don't think so.
I will say that I think I'm a step ahead of you in that.
I would agree.
Yeah, this time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree. And do you fully consciously understand it though?
I still don't. No.
No, there's more to come, right?
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely. Now, can I be confident? Yes. That's not the same thing. I think I might have thought that's what that was. I'm not sure.
I think it's safe to say that's what I thought was standing in my power was being confident and not letting fear
Great.
stop.
Great. And what's coming in now is we had a friend who would who came to our in-person meditations. And it's funny that I remember this, but she had said I had told her that I went to a concert, that my husband and I went to a concert, and sort of there were all these it was just crowded, and getting out of there was just it was an outdoor concert. We happened just down the street at the
Oh,
yes.
yes.
So, and she was saying how she wanted to be like a man. You know how a man just like takes his space. You can just feel that around him. He takes his space. She was like kind of angry about it almost though. And she said she would get and she would just plow through the crowd and like knock them with her elbows and whatever she was getting through because that's what men do. And I thought, well, that's not actually what all men do. I can say that. Do they kind of hold their own space? I know my husband does. When he stands there and he's not thinking about anything, he just has his space. And if you're in his orbit, you can feel that you're in his orbit. Um, but that's not, but what she was talking about, I think I kind of thought that's what it is. I think I kind of thought the same way she did. Not that
Sure.
I ever went through a crowd like that, but that feeling
Right.
of that's what owning it is being a, sort of
Aggressive,
aggressive
kind of.
and, you know, almost angry about it.
Right.
That's not it at all.
No,
Oh,
not at all. No. There is
the opposite in some ways.
there is a humility to it.
Hmm.
There's a strong softness to it.
Yes. And part of that is because we are women. I,
Yes.
I'm not trying to be a man.
No.
I don't want to be a man.
No.
I like who I am and my body and all that. I don't want to be a man, but there is
But even let's just use your husband for an example.
Mhm.
There is a strong softness.
Yes. It's not thought about. He's not thinking about it. Maybe that's it.
Mm-mm.
He's not thinking about it. It just is. It
It
doesn't.
is part of it is part of who he is.
Yes. Yes.
And
That was not something he had to learn in this lifetime.
Okay. What's coming is it is part of who we all are. We just don't recognize it.
Yes.
Or whatever, some of us need to learn how to uncover it
Yes.
and really burrow into it.
And that's male and female. Because I was
Yes.
about to say, well, men are just more, it's like, whoa, Pam,
Mm-mm.
back up. No.
Mm.
Most of us as kids kind of had that beat out of us in one way or the other. And not like total, some people physically had it beat out of them.
Some people physically, but being taught, children are to be seen and not heard.
Yes.
Right there, not having a voice, that takes away from our standing in our own power.
Having controlling parents that want us to be what they want us to be.
Right. The politeness,
Yes.
that over
Yes.
over over etiquetized.
There's a word. Yes, there's a new word.
Mind your P's and Q's.
Or just no supervision, no adult
the other way,
supervision.
right?
And
The other end of the spectrum.
You don't have that role model there for you, which makes, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? We haven't said hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome to TCS.
Yeah. Welcome to our conversation.
Yes. It was just right. We just started talking and yeah. So thank you for showing up. We love that you're here. And this is our conversation today, I guess, about
it seems so. And yeah, we'd love your input on this standing in your power.
and it's not what's coming now again with this is something I'm sure it's always been around, but I think I see it more now than ever before, are these parents who give their they give their kids too much say, like they're so there's so you see kids that I don't even know how to put this. Like you'll see parents like the 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 7-year-old, whatever. You'll see them in the grocery store or whatever, and they're throwing a fit, or they really want something, or they're doing something abrasive to someone else, whatever. And the parents are so like, oh, like they try to talk to them up. Oh, do you think that's a really nice thing to do? Or maybe we shouldn't do that right now. We're like they're giving, instead of saying to the kid, this is not a polite thing to do, or stop. Just plain old, at some point you have to put your foot down with your children and say, this is not okay. That doesn't mean you can't talk to them about it or whatever. But I don't think kids always know. So this is sort of the other end of it. They don't always know where their boundary is, or that's not standing in your power either. If you think the whole room is yours and you can do whatever you want anytime you want and there's no pushback, that's not power either. That's something different.
Sure.
That made sense. I don't know where exactly my brain was going, but that was a sort of a picture I got of that type of parent that sort of lets the kid choose too much, and then you don't know where your own boundaries are.
Right. And part of that with children is they don't have that reasoning capability.
Oh, they do not.
And I think we forget.
Yes.
We forget that the brain hasn't reached that point of development yet.
No.
This was a couple of years ago. I'm talking to my great niece. She had been upset, and I'm talking to her, and she looks
how
at
old
me.
Is she?
Oh, how old was she at the time? She must have been 6.
Okay. That puts some perspective for me. Okay.
She looks at me and she says, Auntie, I don't understand you. I want my mommy. I was heartbroken.
Yes.
I
Yes.
was hurt.
Yes.
And I kind of beat myself up for a minute. And then I went, wait,
No.
think back. How were you just talking to her? You were talking to her the way you might talk to her teenage sister.
Yes.
No wonder she didn't understand. And yay her for having the courage
Absolutely.
to say, Auntie, I don't understand you.
Yes.
I don't understand. I want my mommy.
Yes. And a testament to mommy, right? That's a testament
Right.
to her mother as
Absolutely.
well.
Mommy knows how to talk to her. So she
Feels safe.
understands and she feels safe and she feels heard.
Yes.
Um,
So that's a piece of it too, right? That safety piece. Being in that,
yes.
you feel safe in that. I feel safe in that. Right?
Yes. Yes. Because I'm thinking back to, I don't know, a time when I didn't understand what standing in my own energy, standing in my own power meant for me. Because
right.
It means different things for every person.
Yep.
No, I didn't feel safe. I didn't feel safe in believing in me.
And that would go to being in a crowd and pushing your way through with your elbow, and I'm going to get like forcing it to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you necessarily feel safe either. You can't push that. It's an absolute balanced energy that just is. That's the only way I can think. It just is.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's you're just holding your own.
Yeah.
It's not confrontational. It's not angry. It's not forced. It's just balanced.
It's balanced. So balanced energy. So the first of every year, I choose a word, right?
Oh, yes.
What
is your,
I did this. I usually do it like in the morning, January 1st. And I didn't. I didn't do it until January 2nd. I'm writing down, I have this whole, notebook page. I've got all these words on it. And I take a word in each hand. And the one that has the weight stays. The other one goes away.
Awesome.
Right. And I go through my page. If something's the same weight, I put them both down. I start over and I go through. I cross up. So this whole
love that. I love that.
So I was down to peace, balance, and integration.
Ooh. Okay.
I wanted peace or balance.
But you got integration.
I got integration. And what I heard was when you are integrated, you have balance.
Yes.
You have peace.
Yes.
You have, when you are integrated, and this integration for me at the moment was integrating my human and my spirit into who I am and how I operate in the world. And when I'm integrated, I have absolutely everything I need. I have the balance. I have the peace. I have the trust. I have the capacity for anything.
Yes, absolutely. What that brings me to is your peace and neutral, which is a right. And I think that peace and neutral is a stepping stone to that next to the next level. It's not, this is the first time I've seen it this way. It's not your end goal. It's a stepping stone for you. And it was for me as well.
It is. Yes. And because peace and neutral doesn't have one meaning. Peace and neutral has, oh my gosh, so many different applications. And it's so much more than just peace.
Yes. It's also, you can also hide in peace and neutral.
Oh boy, oh boy, can I? Yes, absolutely. And Yes, an absolute stepping stone
Mhm.
to the integration piece.
Yes.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
What
I
also
like it.
came up for me just now is when you are in your power, in your space, when you're holding that ownership,
Ownership.
there
I
is
love
so
that.
much trust there.
Yes.
I'm trusting that I don't I don't have to be hyper vigilant to check my six. I don't have to be hyper vigilant to say certain things or to have a certain look on my face or to stand a certain way or to whatever. I trust that, yep, this is my space. I own it, and Spirit's going to bring me what I need.
Well,
Yes.
I want to stand up right now.
Oh,
Uh, because when we're in that place of ownership, there's no expectation.
none. It's so
None.
true. None. None. Yeah. Hmm.
Wow.
So this is for those of you listening. I guess I'm talking to everyone listening. I just realized what I said. Oh, ownership is our newest revelation, something like that. I don't know what that word. That's our next place to get to at a
Yes.
really deep internal level. I'm playing
Dare
with something over here, so if you're hearing weird noises, it's like,
dare I say
hmm.
it's our newest tool.
Love that. Yes.
Yeah, ownership is our newest tool.
So I would like to talk a minute about me. I want to talk about me. I always talk about me, but uh,
Okay.
so you all know that I am moving into the space of magic and that's so involved. I'm not doing magic. That's not what that is. Helping people who have been victims of it, people who are doing magic and stepping over other people's boundaries and taking what they want, etc., bringing justice to that side of it and everything. Anyway, it's one of the things that moving into, so I've worked with dark entities, very dark entities. That's where I had when I was working face to face with an entity, I could be very calm. We called it my valor, which
Yep.
is stand in my valor, take
Yep.
care. I didn't get upset. I didn't get pissed with them. At first I did, and I would regret that. And now moving into this new place, that's where I went, oh, because there's a person now attached to that energetic, whether it's an entity or it might be the witch or high priestess or whoever it is, that magic practitioner coming toward
Right.
me. And but there's a human attached to it somewhere. And that's where that ownership piece really is coming in, right? And this is very recent, by the way. This is not like, but when I think back, it's like, okay, when I was standing in my valor with lower entities, that was really an ownership, but I never put that word to it until now. And now I'm really being asked to be that more often
Mm-hmm.
in all parts of my life.
And it was not it wasn't automatic that you would carry that outside of
Oh, at
working with
all.
that entity.
At all. No,
It
when
was
I close
almost like a
space, I
switch.
close space. Yeah.
Yeah. Switch on, switch off.
Yes.
And
Wax
now,
on, wax off for all of you
yeah,
who know old movies.
we are both of us are being asked, turn that switch on,
Yes. And leave it on.
leave it on, and leave it on.
And within that ownership, that doesn't mean that you're always in my valor. It just means that I'm owning who I am. my thoughts, my feelings, my expressions, how I receive information, how I decide if there's room at the inn or not. All of that is within
Right.
that ownership and being there and taking
Right.
accountability and responsibility.
Absolutely. That room at the inn,
Hmm.
that place inside our head where we so often rent it out to
Oh,
other people, situations, things that are none of our business or beyond our control.
people trying to make their business our business.
Yeah.
Uh-uh. No, no.
Yeah.
See ya.
And we had to, um, sorry, this was about you. I'm making it
You
about us.
make it about you, sister. You go.
Um, but we have to have, again, those stepping stones.
Yes.
We can't go from not owning
No.
to full ownership.
Right.
Boom. We have to take those steps of when can I stand in it and then not.
Yes.
Um, I got to tell you, I'm digging that ownership.
Oh, oh, amen, sister.
Yeah.
So much. So much.
Um,
I love it.
and you've already said that you're, a step. Well, I think you're probably a few steps ahead of me on that. Um, and yet I'm digging it. Uh,
Absolutely. It's such a beautiful feeling, experience,
yeah.
knowing all of that stuff. I really, I feel now I really have something. I love having something to work towards. And I feel like there's really that place
Yes.
I'm working toward to be in that, to just be in that. And that doesn't mean I can't be vulnerable in that spot. That doesn't mean that I can't get hurt or get, my feelings hurt or whatever, but it's really just owning all of that.
Yes. And allowing ourselves to still be human because
Yes.
we are.
Yes.
When we're in that place of ownership where we own our thoughts, our actions, our opinions,
Hmm.
and we own our value,
Yes.
when we get hurt or triggered,
Hmm.
it might knock us down.
Hmm.
It's not going to take us out.
No.
Unless, of course, we allow it. We always have
Right.
that choice. But when you don't have any ownership over your own anything and you get triggered, you're taken out. I'm sorry, but
And that could have happened. We received an email from someone, and I'm certainly not going to say her name. Um, well, I don't even know her name. She was someone who apparently watched our other channel all the time. We did a video that she didn't like, and she emailed us how hurt she was, how she always trusted us. But then this particular video, she thinks we're liars now and we're this and we're that. Like it really triggered her badly.
yeah.
And she, of course, had to reach out to tell us all of that instead of just going away. And of course, we didn't respond. I'm not giving that. So no. Mm-mm. But what I found interesting and was really proud of myself was that I didn't let her get rent free in my head. There would have been a time
Sure.
I would have felt the whatever it is that she was throwing, the blame that she was throwing at me.
The
And
blame and the
it was
shame.
really
Sure.
toward me, and you were kind of in it because she put Pam and Mari-Lyn in
In
parentheses.
parentheses, it felt like I'm guilty by association.
Yes, yes. So the whole thing was a big gaslighting, disgusting thing. And after we stopped laughing, we went, oh, this is really sad. This poor
Very
girl
sad. Yeah.
has no ownership over who she is. She's still blaming everyone else. And I'm sure it's not just us. If you're blaming it, blame people you've never even met before. You just watched a video and it pissed you off. Everyone in her life it's everyone else's fault. And that really, the fact that I did not feel shame over that. The fact that I didn't feel the need to do anything. I'm not owning that. No, my intention was never to hurt anyone or any, you know what I mean? So
Right. Right.
that felt really good for me though. And it also shows that it's just such a perfect example of ownership. She took ownership for, I mean, her lack of worth, her lack
Mm-hmm.
of
Mm-hmm.
stability, feeling peace, and understanding. She went right into her wounding and she expressed it in a way where she was throwing, slinging shit, right? And looking for someone to blame. And then me on this end being able to look at it and think, oh, ooh, poor thing is broken. I found it to be really interesting and a sort of that you could see both sides of it. For the first time, I really
Sure.
right away without, there are times when I that could have really triggered me, triggered my wounding that I hurt someone and now they're
Mm-hmm.
lashing out and gaslighting and it's all my fault. I didn't do any of that this time. I was really proud of
It
myself.
was, yeah, it was good.
That really shows Mari-Lyn doesn't have the same wounding, so she doesn't get as affected by that sort of thing as I used to. I'm going to say
Used to.
used to. Did a lot
Mm-hmm.
of healing on other people's opinions of me. And I was really, I was really proud of myself. But
As
it
you should
shows
be.
both ends of it.
That ownership piece is it's crucial
Yes,
in our moving forward and in expansion.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And I did, there was a flash of, wow, you're an asshole because you're not like seeing what you're not in pain because she's in pain. But that was learned behavior for me. Oh,
Right.
you're mad, you're upset, you're blaming me, you're slinging shit at me. I'm supposed to take that shit and whatever,
Right.
potpourri out of it,
Right.
whatever. And I'm supposed to take it from you and carry that around so you can feel better.
Yes.
Bullshit, I'm not doing that anymore. Hell no. I've been getting better over the years, but for me, that was a clear, like, yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it shows her lack.
Big done, big done stamp.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Ma'am.
Really good.
So, yeah. So I was really proud of myself. So there you go. Yes. Oh, yeah.
Ownership.
Yes, ma'am.
Um, what I'm recognizing is as I'm learning about my own ownership and standing in it and walking in it,
Mm-hmm.
how it's affecting my day-to-day routine,
Yes.
my conversations with other people,
Mm-hmm.
My conversations with my husband,
Mm-hmm.
how things are morphing. I don't I don't know what other word to use than morphing.
Nothing.
Um, and it's brilliant. It's just
Yes.
it's brilliant.
Yes.
Yeah. Here I had all of this wonderful stuff going on in my brain, and I'm brilliant morphing.
And again, that doesn't mean there are stages to it. There are levels and stepping up. And I think it's really so something that you and I have talked about for a long time is we are here in these human bodies to find our worth.
Yes.
That's our, and part of that or the other end of it is the ownership piece. Is
Yes.
or it's a part of it or something. I
It's a
haven't
part of it.
but yes.
So because the ownership isn't that's not the end game.
No, no.
It's not the end game at all. Once we realize that ownership, I can only imagine that it grows
Mm-hmm.
as we move through it, as we move through life. And now what do we do with it?
Yes. Yeah.
How do we take that ownership
Mhm.
into the world and really express who we are to other people, to ourselves? How do we move through with that ownership in our duties,
Mhm.
our duties to mankind, our duties to ourself, our duties to spirit?
Oof. Yeah.
um never been there in this lifetime. I don't know.
Not to the extent that we're talking about now. So what as you were talking, I was like, okay, in this area, I've always had a lot of confidence. In this area, not so much. And in that area, like we can all like, I would assume, which I know, I'm assuming, but people are listening to this thinking, oh, well, I always do that. I always say, bravo to you. And I'm also going to say, take a look at other places in your life, because there are going to be places where you don't feel so confident, you don't feel ownership, and
Right.
how you
And
can uh-huh
no, go ahead.
just how you can build that up, how you can look there and say, oh, okay, I make that goal, or that a mission for you to feel that confident in those other places in your life where you don't feel. Everyone, no one is confident in every piece of their life. They're just not.
And this ownership piece, at least for me, is very all encompassing.
Absolutely.
All encompassing.
Absolutely.
This isn't about um confidence to get on here and do a video.
No.
This isn't about confidence to fly across the country by myself.
No.
Um, this is about confidence to be in this body,
Yes.
own what I think,
Yes.
own what I feel,
Yes.
own my reactions, own my actions.
Mhm.
This is all encompassing,
Yes.
100% ownership, um, no rental.
No rental. And you just hit on something that I'm having a hard time with.
Oh,
That I'm so flying in the country, I can do on my own. I am flying by myself for the first time internationally
yeah.
in April. And I've woken up a couple nights free, like in a panic that I'm missing my connected flight. Yes. So thank you. I'm actually going to write that down. That's an area that I want to feel safer, which is part of ownership, is feeling safe.
That
Right?
safety piece is, yes, we can't stand in ownership if we don't feel safe. And there's a difference between not feeling safe
Yes.
and feeling vulnerable.
Yes. Hmm.
The oh, someone out there is going to just hate me for saying this.
Oh, that's good. Trigger someone. We're doing a good job.
The sometimes the best place to be is knowing your safety in your vulnerability.
Yes.
You are the safest
Yes.
when you allow yourself to be vulnerable. Now, this doesn't mean putting yourself in a dangerous situation,
Right. Right.
but it means believing in yourself, trusting in spirit,
Yes.
and owning that whatever it is you're doing or saying, you're being true to
Yes.
you.
Yes. Now, you all know, because I've talked about it, that this doesn't happen often, but in my case, it does. The spirit who was my dad in this lifetime is he's not just a guide, by the way. He's the general. He is a general in what we do. And uh, he is the dude that we take orders from with our oh, she's giggling. And he just came up next to me and he said, "Remember, I'm here. I walk with you." And so in my mind, I was thinking about walking through the airport in Madrid, 2.5 hours from one flight to the next, never been to this airport before, have to go through the checkpoints. It's freaking me out. Don't know, again, never been here before. A lot of people speak English there, so I'm not, too freaked out about that. And so he was just showing me, he and Fred actually just flanked me and just walking with me. And he's just like, just talk to us. Just talk to us the whole time. Don't care. And if people look at you like you're talking to yourself and are freaked out, they'll walk away and then you'll have a lot of room to yourself. So just,
Well, and if you have your earbuds in your
oh, I can pretend like
ears,
I'm talking to someone.
it's like you're on the telephone.
Yeah. Oh, I
And
like that.
as you're giving this scenario, I can see you and your dad and Fred in his robe and his Nikes.
Yes. 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 Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's, yeah. And he is the general is the one that comes in so if all of you are wondering, like, why would you take orders and why would you, so when, just, we can explain that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you want to explain that? Or, because I feel like I've just been talking a lot, but
It's okay. You have taken more orders from him than I have, so
yeah.
you might be the better one to explain it.
So with not just the regular paranormal, we're talking about with the darker entities, and then also, and it really came like he was always there with the darker entities. I always knew he was there. He still felt like dad then. As I transitioned into this dark magic, this sort of area that's really unknown to me, he has really revealed himself as he's in charge. We have we have spiritual armies that we work with in these situations. So we're never alone. Obviously, we're never alone, but we're all working together. They need those human counterparts. So he has come in and he is the general. He's the one that, he comes to Mari-Lyn, Nathan, the three of us actually just today did some work and he was there and he's the one directing us. So he is not my dad at that point, even though I still will call him dad, but he's not. He is the spirit who was my dad in this lifetime, and there's a different form of him, and it's beautiful and it's strong.
It's strong.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And he, just like in life, and I have to say, just like in life, when he, oh, see, I want to cry. When he says everything's going to be okay, you believe it and you feel it and you know it. And I'm starting to cry now. He did that in life too. He chose one hell of a life. Woof. The Great Depression, World War II, two crazy ass wives. Mine being the one, my mom being the second one that was the nut job. Alcoholism, like the man chose it.
Yeah.
But in life and now, when he comes in, when I need that reassurance that I'm gonna be okay.
Yeah. He has been a great teacher for me in preparing me to work with entities
Yes.
outside of working with entities. It's not uncommon for him to come to me when I'm playing disc golf.
Yes.
If my energy is low, he will come in and remind me where I am, what I'm doing, and to take ownership of me in that moment.
Yes.
And there's twice where it was so profound,
Yeah.
the shift that I was able to make, because I accepted his orders.
Yes, you have to. Yes.
Because it doesn't come as a suggestion. It is presented to you
Oh,
as,
yeah.
what are you doing? This is what you need to do.
Yes.
Um,
In a
it's very
very gentle way,
loving,
by the way.
very loving.
Yeah.
And yeah. Um,
Mhm.
I have created now, he has created
Yes.
a relationship to now, when it comes time,
Mhm.
and it's coming.
Mhm.
Uh it's coming.
Mhm.
Somebody watching, you know who you are. You've not been wanting to reach out, and I am asking you to reach out. The activity you're experiencing is real.
Yes. Absolutely.
And please reach out.
And it
Um,
could be magic, by the way, not
there
just
could very well be
Mhm.
magic involved with it.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
Um,
dad is the one, the general is the one who is really teaching me how to own it, how to own my space, how to own who I am, how to own what I do, how to own who I am spiritually in this lifetime, like the whole
mhm.
works, just the whole thing. And with and Nathan as well. So it's really
and and human, right?
yes,
Because
yes,
he's definitely helping me own who I am
yes,
as a human,
yes,
and integrated um into the
absolutely.
spiritual
For
piece.
me, it starts with my spiritual self working its way out. When I come up against here's, I'll give an example. I may have told this story, but we're going to tell it again. I was sitting on the sofa. My husband he only watches, so he's an Oregon Duck. So that's what he watches is duck football, right? I have had enough sports in my with having two athletic sons and two I just can't do sports anymore. But I'll sit with him and I wear my headphones and I look at my phone and I watch other things and he's on the sofa watching his game. And all of a sudden this person came in. They couldn't see me. They knew my energy was there, but I just saw this face right in front of my face. And I'm like, "Oh, hell no. What the?" It was a magic practitioner who was searching for me. They weren't astral projecting, it's the other one. Remote
Viewing?
viewing is,
Mm-hmm.
if you all know us, not okay.
No,
Not okay.
no, it's not.
And the way it works is I set my boundaries, and this is true for all of us. I set my boundaries and I have a no entry sign out. If you choose to step over that boundary, I get to bring I get to ask for divine justice to come to you because you have stepped over my free will. See so that person came in and I knew they couldn't see me. You could tell that they were like looking like, where is she? I can sense her there. Those of you who work with other people's energy, you understand what that is. You pull in someone's energy and you can feel them anyway. And it was the general that came in. And I went from being a little freaked out to then standing in my ownership, just owning it, and then bringing divine justice to this person for stepping over my. They were they had wished they had not have done that after, but had he not come in to say this is what, but it started spiritually because physically in the 3D I was a little freaked out. And so it really, he had to start with, okay, the spiritual piece and
Mm-hmm.
its way out, if that makes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how it will work for me. He'll come in at those moments, and he means business.
And it makes sense that it was that way because and for me, he comes in my human self,
Yes.
just because of the way we have gone through life. I've gone
Yes.
through life so human,
Yes. Yes. And I'm the other way.
and you have gone through life so spiritual.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And both are so beautiful, both ways. One way's not better than the other. One's not anything than the other. It's just,
just
they're just
different,
different. We're all just so very different.
just different, depending on what we need to learn, um, what our lessons are, what our contracts are.
Mhm.
Yeah.
By standing in that ownership, I wasn't scared. I wasn't freaked out. I wasn't angry. I wasn't anything. You crossed my boundaries. I now get to, I'm coming after you now.
Yeah.
And divine justice comes with me. So it was that it's just such a, it really, standing in that ownership, there's no other feeling like it. It's so
None.
amazing. It's just, and you're all, at least for me, the whole thing, I'm just in my channel.
Mm-hmm.
And I hear, see, smell, taste, whatever, feel spirit all around me and taking my direction. It's just beautiful. It's just amazing. And I'd love to hear from all of you out there if you know what I'm talking about or what your experiences are. Please let us know.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty fabulous. But so yes, and I think that is something that we've always taught a certain part of that, but now it's really coming through a lot in our teachings.
Mm-hmm.
Now I just have a different understanding of
Yes.
what that
A whole new
oh,
understanding,
yeah.
a whole new understanding, of what that ownership, means. Yeah.
So, and being that I was always spiritual and not 3D, just because of the way I was raised and my home was so scary and fear has been physical, like physically I'm going to be hurt or
Mm-hmm.
taken advantage of has always been that's a big mastery for me in this lifetime. So I look forward to being able to go out like you do, like you're on he catches you in the woods when you're disc golfing and
Yep.
brings that to you in such a physical way.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to being out somewhere and
It's
being able
amazing.
to do that. I am so looking forward to it. I don't know what that feels like.
And
Confidence?
I
Sure.
am anxious
But
for the spiritual piece,
yes.
when it happens. So I'm gonna change the subject a little bit, and
Yeah,
I'm gonna
absolutely. You
backtrack.
go, girl.
I'm gonna go back to when I mentioned somebody listening or watching
Oh,
this
yes, please.
having activity.
Uh-huh.
Um, it was a little while ago. There, very far in the distance, there was an entity, like watching. I have set a very firm boundary very recently, so he
It's
was not coming in.
mm,
I noticed and I didn't say anything.
mhm.
And then, shortly before I mentioned someone having activity, I could smell him.
Oof. Mm-hmm.
I could
Mm.
smell him, and he did not smell good. And that's when I realized somebody's thinking about reaching out. Now, ever since I mentioned that, there is nothing. He's gone.
Yeah.
He is gone. So whoever is watching, if your activity stops or slows down and you think, oh,
Mm,
I made it up, I was imagining it,
did not.
please reach out. We're at tcseverydaypsychics.com. Reach out. We are here to help.
It's this type of help is always free.
Yes.
We charge for other services, but to clear your home, that's always free.
Yep.
It does not, we like to put it on our YouTube channel because it helps other people come forward,
Mm-hmm.
but that's not a must. You
Not a
don't
deal breaker.
have to. Not, no.
No.
You need your house cleared. We're going to come and clear it, whether we can put it on the channel or not.
Yeah.
Um,
And
yeah.
we don't talk about that very often on this channel
No,
because
we don't.
this is the spiritual channel, not the paranormal channel. However, when it comes
Yes.
and it's like in
Yes.
your nose.
Oh, you and Nathan have, and Nathan expect that smell thing. I always sometimes I
Woo!
feel so sorry for him. It's like, oh, sorry, you have to smell that.
Yeah, it's too late to message him.
Yes, it is. Yes, he's in the UK.
I'll have to ask him tomorrow if he had
Yes,
any olfactory.
I do want to say yes. I just got the word odoriferous.
Odoriferous. Love that. Yeah.
So I do want to say to those who don't watch us for the paranormal piece, our job is to help souls heal.
Yes.
This is not, we do not just kick you out of the house. We do not come in, whatever, guns drawn, ready to do battle or fight or whatever. That is not what we do. No
No.
matter where you are in the spectrum of vibration, we are going to help heal you. So even those darkest of the entities who've never been human, they're truly just here to wreak havoc. That's what they do. They want to hurt you. They want to possess you. They want to jump you. They want to do all of those things. We treat them with respect, and they get the help they need. So they're never just thrown out of the house or whatever. Someone needed to hear that. So I wanted to make that clear that
Yeah.
we are always healers first.
We don't kick them to the curb so they can go prey on your neighbor.
Yeah, no.
Or they can come back. No, they
will never, no, they're not coming back.
They are not coming back.
Yes.
Nothing that we help facilitate healing for, they don't come back. They can't.
They always have an option to cross over to the higher realms.
Always.
Now, earthies, it's rare that an earthie won't go to the higher realms. So almost always we cross them over. On occasion, Fred has taken one away, and because they're not done with whatever it is they need to do as an earthie, a ghost. But yeah, so no matter in a body, out of a body, whatever vibration you're in, we're there to help. We are there to help. And if you call us in, you are our client, and we will help you. So
absolutely.
Anyway, just wanted to,
yeah.
I can feel that now. Someone is wanting to reach out, but just hasn't. You're not crazy, by the way, whoever you are. You are not crazy. There is something happening, and it's okay to reach out.
Yeah. Yeah. And we understand that crazy feeling.
Oh, trust me. Yes. There are even times Mari-Lyn and I will do a clearing or something, and afterwards we'll go, did that really happen? Was that real? Did we really do it? We can even fall into that. I don't trust. That was not real. That did not really happen, and then we get an email from the client who is so happy that everything that was happening is gone. They're feeling better. They no longer have back pain or, whatever it is that was going on. And it's like, okay, yeah, we really did do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
That really happened. And yeah.
Our favorite thing, I have to say this, our favorite thing is when someone says, this is going to sound really weird.
Yes.
Who you're talking to.
Yes. Weird. Let me tell you about weird.
Yes. Yes. Our whole existence here is what we do for it. It's not just what we do for a living. And yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff.
I love, one of my favorite stories is when we had the physical space and one of our meditators actually
yes.
have you ever noticed there's a man's
Yes,
corpse?
yes.
We're like, oh, oh, does he
So
bad
bad.
body odor?
Yes. It's so bad here. This is what we do for, and we sometimes just ignore it, or we
Just,
just don't. We just,
it's so
it was
bad.
worse back then because we had a space that we went to. It's
Yes.
a little different in our homes because this is my fortress.
I can still ignore in
You
my
can
home
still, yes,
though.
you did. I was not going to call you out on that.
Although I did not ignore the other day.
No, you didn't.
I didn't. Someone came in and he he used someone else to
Yes,
get to me.
yes.
And
Oops.
I don't understand. I don't even, the whole thing is just kind of wild how
Yes.
they know
It's,
energetically,
yep, they know.
but they know. And he knew I could help him
Mhm.
go home. And I
But
did.
he made him smell like he peed all over himself, and it was and stale pee on top of that.
Yes.
Like with yes,
Yes, it was old homeless man,
yes.
urine soaked
Ah,
clothes.
gross. Yeah.
And
Your attention though. Boy, did it get your
it
attention.
it got my attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And he was crossed over,
Which is
and it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
yeah.
And there was still a moment of like,
You even said it to
what did that
me. Was that you said it to me? Was that real?
I said,
I
I
was like,
feel a little crazy
Lynn. Yeah.
because I'm home alone, right? I got nothing, I got nobody to corroborate this story.
No, no, no.
And yeah, it was odd
Yeah.
that I was like,
Yeah.
really? This sounds so weird, but
And
it's
he was,
uh
sometimes they come to us for, I mean, they come to us for different reasons. This particular one came to you. He wanted to go home and he knew you were the ticket.
he knew I
And
do
he had
not.
to make a, no pun
Yep,
intended, a big splash.
he had to be. Yes, yes, yeah,
Yes, he did.
yeah. And it
Yes,
was beautiful.
yes,
And yeah, so
yes, yes.
so
So,
trust me, we understand that crazy feeling.
yes, we do. Yes, and it's
Yeah.
yeah, and and you know what? If it isn't, if you don't actually have something going on, no harm, no foul. Then you can just rule that out. And we do
Yes.
tell that to people too. Some people think there's activity, and let's say they're having a lot of health issues or something. Well, let's just clear your home and
Hmm.
then you can rule that out.
Yes. And an important piece of clearing your home, we don't just clear out the paranormal piece. We don't, that it doesn't stop there.
No.
Energetically, we can read the energy and move it and transmute it and leave it in a higher vibration. And that allows you, the homeowner,
Mhm.
to take a good assessment. What's going on in your life
Yes. Now
that
that's gone.
that could have created all of that energy? If there's nothing paranormal,
Yes.
yeah.
Most people, if you've never cleared your home, you're not into the whole energetic thing, whatever. And I say this with love and compassion and understanding, but energetically, your house might look like a hoarder's house or
Right.
look energetically like just a shithole. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but and it's not just from you, could have been whoever lived there before, could be the earth. There's all sorts of
Right.
reasons.
How many families have lived in that house that you're in?
Yes,
How long has your house been there? How
yes,
many people have been in and out, and the
yes,
illness, and
yes.
oh my gosh.
And
Yeah.
it wreaks havoc energetically on your home. So if you
Yes.
imagine you're living in this home that looks like it probably should energetically, like
Energetically.
it should be demolished, right? It's that bad. You've got the walls are coming down, like it's crappy. We come in, we fix it, make it all brand new. You're going to feel better. You're going to feel better. But we take care of that piece, and then you can focus on, give it a week or two, and then you can focus on, oh, okay, well, this pain that I'm having in my back is real, and I need to go
Yep.
see a doctor about it.
Yep.
Or, wow, that's gone. That's what it was. Or whatever. It doesn't matter. Or I was
Right.
feeling so depressed. What's coming to mind is this couple that Mari-Lyn that you helped. I don't think they had kids. They wanted some help. They didn't want it on the channel. They were really in a bad way, not just energetically, but physically. I think she was on disability,
Yes.
and it was just rolling and getting worse, worse
Yes.
and worse. And the husband was trying. He had a full-time job, but then he'd come home and have to take care of her. I mean, it was just this sad situation. We cleared their home, and then Mari-Lyn worked with her, I think her, right? Both of them are just her. I don't remember.
It was mostly her, but I think there was a little bit with him. He joined in a little bit, but it was mostly with her.
One of the reasons they didn't want it on our channel is because she had been ill for so long and unable to get around that their house physically looked like a hoarder's home. It was a mess, right? Once we cleared that all out, Mari-Lyn helped her understand her energy and all of that.
Yeah.
They started cleaning their home. They started they felt better. They started eating better. They were turning their lives around. Absolutely. I would love to hear from them again. If you are the one, if you're listening and you're that one, please reach out to us. We would love to hear from you.
Absolutely.
It
Absolutely.
was I know you're tearing up. You're tearing up. We won't reach out again because it's not our business to do so.
No.
We did our job. Mari-Lyn did her job. And at that point, we stop and we wish you the best. And we leave that door absolutely open.
Absolutely open.
And we have to trust that everything is going well, or, we would have heard again. But we would
Right.
love to hear from you. That
Yeah.
was beautiful. But they got to check some things off their list. Okay.
Yep.
Part of this was we had some creeps in the house.
Yep.
We had some earthies here. We had our house energetically looked like a demolished home, like it was just, oh, it was bad.
It was bad.
And
Yeah.
it helped them restart.
They took personal responsibility.
Yes.
Once
That was
the
beautiful.
things that were out of their control
Yes.
were cleaned up and gone, they took personal responsibility and they did the work, and
Yes.
they helped themselves.
Yes. That was one of
Yeah.
the most beautiful experiences. We've had a lot of beautiful
Absolutely.
experiences, but that one's definitely at the top of
Being a part of that was
Yes.
absolutely a highlight
Yes.
of my career.
Yeah. Absolutely. It was beautiful.
Absolutely.
So for those of you out there, that I hope you heard that and you decide if it's a great way to rule something out. And like Mari-Lyn said,
Mhm.
to get rid of everything that's out of your control.
Yep.
And then you can focus on what you can control and how you can control it and how you can move through it. And
Mhm.
because most things are in our control.
Most things are.
The paranormal, witchcraft, that kind of
Now,
stuff is not always in our control.
If many of you have watched our paranormal channel, you've heard me say, if you think you have activity,
Yes.
you probably do. And at the same time, there is so much exposure now to ghost hunting and to unexplained things. I have to kind of take a step back on that. If you think you have activity, it's absolutely have it checked out. Absolutely.
Yes.
And at the same time, it could be a manifestation of your own fear.
Yes. It was a very real thing.
Yes.
And no, you cannot live with them. So
No.
that's something that really pisses me off. You want to get my dander up, that'll do it.
That'll do it.
These ghost hunters that say, oh, you can live with them. You can.
No.
You can't. No, you don't. You're not going deeper than that. it is not healthy for all kind. It's so not healthy to live with a go, just, oh, well, that's just, George, he lives in the background, he just bounces around, whatever.
Why would you keep George from crossing over to the
Yes.
higher realms to be healed
Yeah.
and to become a whole spirit again? I mean, that
It's
is
bizarre to me. When you're earthy, when you're a ghost, you live in your wounding. You live in a low vibration. There's no love, there's no joy, there's no compassion, there's none of that. You live in your lowest vibration that you were as a human. Yeah. And if you know about George, George is living rent free. By the way, people say, "Well, he doesn't bother me." Really? Do
oh
you?
yeah, he does.
Yeah. You think about him every day.
Yep.
Every day. Every time you
It's
walk
part
up,
of your
maybe,
routine.
yep, maybe you don't go into that room anymore. Maybe and maybe all of a sudden you're having headaches that you never had before. Well, those aren't your headaches, honey. Those are
No,
George's.
they're George's.
So that's something that ghost hunting has big
Yeah.
disservice to people.
Yeah.
Big disservice.
It's people are giving away their ownership.
Yes.
Absolutely giving away
So
their
much.
ownership
Yeah.
to earthbound spirits, sometimes to entities. Um,
And they're not
now,
your friend. They are
no,
not your friend. You cannot have. That's another thing. There are a lot of dependence happens.
yes, if you are a codependent person and
Mm,
you have a ghost in your house, they are going to make you believe that you
yes.
are their savior.
Yes. You're helping them. Nope. You are in a
All the while they are
relationship. And
sucking
I
your energy.
often call them, yeah, I often call them domestic violence relationships. They
Yes.
can they can really get to that where you are isolated from everyone. You only speak to that person. Your
Yep.
thoughts are always on that person. Oh, I can't stay late from work because I have to go back because George needs me. Whatever. That's not no bueno.
No, 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 no.
Oh, no.
No, no, no.
Mm-mm. So when we say we help all souls, we really do. We're going to come in, we're going to help you, and we're going to help George. We're going to help your home, we're going to help the earth, we're going to help everything.
Yeah.
And then you can find out what the real issue is. Get rid of
Yep.
all that distraction.
Yep. Yep.
So
And
and
maybe there is nothing else. Maybe that
yep,
was the crux of all of your
yep,
problems.
yep,
Um, and then you can go about life and then, learn what other problems are going to crop
yep,
up.
yep, yep. I remember one of our first that we did together. It was a house here. We went to this house and we cleared it out, and there was a woman that lived there, and that was the marble.
Oh,
That's a
yes.
whole different. But we went. Oh, she barely went upstairs anymore because there were ghosts up there. There were
Yeah,
earthies up there. So she wasn't even you. It was a beautiful home,
it was beautiful.
and the furniture, everything. It was a gorgeous home. And she didn't even use like a third of her home because they were up there. And she really didn't. People don't just get it because of all the ghost hunting stuff. They don't really understand what's going on. But
Right.
she was then able to use all of her home and cross over these
Yep.
beautiful spirits so they could go home. And
Yep.
yeah.
Two women, if I remember.
Yeah.
Two women and a trickster.
And a trickster. Yes.
Two women and a trickster.
Yeah. Hmm.
Freezing me in marble.
That's a great story. That is one of the
And it was
funny.
just a trick. And I wasn't even frozen in marble. I just thought I was.
No. And she was literally frozen.
I
Like
was
she
like,
didn't move. She
Pam,
was Pam.
Pam.
And the homeowner was standing right there, so there's only so much you could say because you didn't want to freak her out.
Uh-huh.
My God, that was one of the funniest.
That was so
She's like,
funny.
"Yeah, I'm stuck in marble," and I'm like looking around, going, "What is she?" No, there's carpet on the floor. There's like I'm like trying to figure out what the hell she's talking about, and it was just a trick. He was like this magician trickster dude,
Yep.
and
Yep.
he just had
So
her
funny.
believing that she was stuck. Yeah, God, that was so funny.
Yep.
We laughed a good one on that.
Woo.
So,
Every time we tell the story, it's funny.
oh, it never gets old.
No.
It never gets old.
No. And it's so nice that there's no shame, there's no real embarrassment about it anymore.
No.
There used to be,
Yeah.
oh, I fell for that. Well,
Yeah.
he was good.
He was good. We each have a job to do. He has a job to do as well as we have a job to do. And
Yeah.
that particular piece, he won it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's, we call that getting your ass kicked.
Oh,
And
goodness.
getting your ass kicked doesn't mean that you're physically hurt or
No.
whatever. That's not what that means. It just means basically you got manipulated.
Yeah, you
Yes.
let your guard down. I wasn't it was a great lesson for me in awareness.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Um I got a little, I got a little involved in the codependence of these
Yes.
other ghosts.
Yep.
And he went, gonna get her.
And
he
he's like, oh, I know this type.
Yeah.
Yes. And I've had not that exact experience, but my own experiences. It's just all part of it. It's how you learn.
It is the best way to learn and the worst way.
At least we can laugh at it. There's never one, and there's been some doozies, certainly on my part. And thankfully I'm able to look back and go, okay, well, I learned from that.
Learned
No,
from it.
no real harm done at all.
Yes. And that's the important piece is the lesson, is the learning
Yes.
piece.
And it's all helping me to where I am today and taking
Absolutely.
ownership and this
Taking
beautiful
ownership.
new journey I'm on with this dark magic stuff.
Yeah.
But the general's got me. So,
Absolutely.
all right. I think
Woo!
probably a good place to stop, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Please
appreciate
leave
you.
comments, and wherever you're listening, you can leave a comment, whether,
Yep.
yeah,
Everywhere.
an app or on YouTube, wherever, please do. And yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Okay. Take care, everybody, and
See you next time.
take ownership.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.